here, head trader at True Trading Group, January 8th, solid day. I started 2019 off the first 2 days of the year. I started them off red, up in green ever since. Real nice trade today in VHC. I was basically flat coming into this trade. I had one winner, one loser in the morning. It kind of canceled each other out, and I was basically flat on the day until this VHC trade. Before I get into the lesson that I'm going to cover with you on VHC, which has everything to do with lunchtime breakouts, I want to point out something to you that I noticed today that I have not noticed in quite some time, and that is that we got really good afternoon moves in a lot of small cap names. We haven't had that in a while. Okay, we've had small caps have been active in the morning, then they kind of die out. They don't really give you that afternoon move. Sure, there's one or two stocks maybe here and there that'll give you that all-day run, that afternoon move. But as a whole, like small caps as a whole, we really haven't seen that in a while. All right, and I noticed that today a lot of small cap names were making afternoon moves that piqued my interest and got my attention and will be on my watch list tomorrow, or at least I'm going to look to see pre-market what they're doing, if they're gapping up, if there's good volume, continuation, or whatever it is. There was VHC, VTVT, ANFI, MRIN, MEAT. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but the point is that there was a handful of them that gave us afternoon moves, and we haven't seen that in a while. So if we get afternoon continuation comes back into small caps, and that would be awesome. And that's money in the bank when you get that afternoon follow through, and you can really get paid on a trade twice in the same day, or if you're holding on to it and catch that all day runner, that's when things can get really fun. So I noticed that today. We'll see if it continues. Just want to point that out. We'll see over the next couple of days if that trend continues, and if it does, I'll be positioning myself to take advantage of it, because my biggest trade of the day today was an afternoon move. Okay, and it was in VHC. This trade required the patience of a saint. It's funny that we kind of reiterate yesterday's lesson. I talked about patience being a major factor in my trading so far in January, and how that patience has really been paying off, and it paid off again big in VHC. Okay, this trade lasted, over 2 hours, and the patience really paid. So let's get right to the chart. We'll get to the lesson. This lesson has everything to do with lunchtime breakouts. I will preface this lesson by saying I do not like lunchtime breakouts. I do not trade lunchtime breakouts. The reason for that is they tend to fail more often than they give you continuation. That is because volume is typically lighter during lunchtime. Lunchtime is usually from 12 to 2 Eastern. Okay, volume's typically lighter during the lunchtime session. That's why when a stock breaks through the high of the day during lunchtime, it'll typically tend to fail more often times than you'll get that real strong continuation, because the volume's lighter. And in order for you to get good continuation, you need increasing volume to build momentum and for a stock to give you that follow through. Okay, so I teach all of our members to stay away from lunchtime breakouts unless that breakout is accompanied with the heaviest volume the stock has traded at any point during the day, which is exactly what we got in VHC. Okay, VHC, here was your previous high of the day, and you can see we broke through that high and extended on the heaviest volume the stock had traded at any point during the day prior. Okay, see, here's the breakout. You look left for the morning session. You can see none of this volume is near as big as the volume that came in on this break and push. At 12:30, I came on the mic in chat today, and I said to everyone, guys, that's the heaviest volume that VHC has traded all day. I'm putting this on watch right now for a potential afternoon push. It's exactly what I said on the microphone to our members today. We got this pullback down in to retest that previous support, that previous high. And what I want to point out to you is what I noticed was I draw my Fibonacci retracement level out, and you start to see the 38.2 fib level lines up exactly with that previous high. Then you can see VWAP also lined up with that area as well. That's orange line on my screen is VWAP. So once I saw that pull in right there around 130, and I see multiple support indicators now converging, 38.2 fib, previous high, and VWAP, I'm looking for support to kick in around that 350 area, that previous high area. Okay, and that volume was my first indicator to look for that. So as you see, we pull back in, and I entered this position right here at 378. I'll take it to my trade announcements on the day. Here we are at 135, long VHC at 378, stop loss 350 area, so right below that previous high. Okay, you can see we pulled in one more time and retested that area, held once again. And this is where the patience really came into play, guys. This stock was doing nothing. Very, very boring action. I mean, this was like an hour and a half after my entry. The stock was at the exact same price that I entered at. Volume really started to dry out during that 2 o'clock hour. And then at power hour, all of a sudden, the stock starts to climb. And the stock starts to churn. Volume starts to increase a little bit. We start to poke our head back above 4. I took some profit off the table right there at 4 o'clock. Okay, here I'm at $4. I'm sorry. Here you guys can see took some profit at $4, still holding some. Then at 3:32, I took the bulk of my position off at 4:10. And then my final take profit 10 minutes before the close at 4:40. We got some good extension. So here's my take profit. First one, second one, and final take profit. Okay, so here's entry, first take profit, second, third. All right, and this was all about, it all goes back to the volume that came in on the break through that high of the day, it being the heaviest volume the stock had traded at any point prior in the morning. Look for support to kick in at that previous high. I got multiple support indicators at that high. Came in, entered the position, stop loss just below that 350 area. Held beautifully, tested it once, tested it twice, and then you got the afternoon push and the follow through. Okay, so it was a really good, was a solid trade. We'll see what happens tomorrow, guys. We'll see if this is a trend maybe that we start to see in small caps. I would love to see afternoon moves come back in small caps. That makes for some really good trading. Okay, I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.